And we've talked a lot about AI and how it's really affecting everything we do. And now it's starting to play a part in finances. And right now we're going to be joined by Rod Griffin. He's the Senior Director of Consumer Education Advocacy with Experian. And Rod, you all just kind of rolled out a new AI tool that is giving some personalized financial guidance to consumers. Tell us a little about this product and why should the consumer trust their, some of these decisions with artificial intelligence?
Sure. So Experian just rolled out the Experian Virtual Assistant, what we call EVA, and we always seem to have names for our AI assistants. And EVA is designed to really help a person better understand personal finance concepts in general and to provide very specific personal guidance based on your financial health and financial resources that you give us permission to access. So it's a bit unique in that regard. What Ava does, if you're an Experian member, and membership's free, you just go to our app or you go online to Experian.com, you can enroll, and we'll be able to review your credit report. You can ask questions about how credit reporting works, how credit scoring works. If you enroll in other services that we have, like Experian Boost, that lets you report your positive cell phone payments, utility payments, streaming services, or use Experian's Personal Finance Manager, and you give us permission to access your credit card accounts or your banking, checking, savings accounts, or maybe you enroll in Experian's Smart Money digital checking account or savings accounts. We're able to have, or Ava is really able to look at your overall financial picture and give very tailored guidance and advice about what you can do to be more financially healthy. And that's what makes Eva unique, is that she's actually looking at, or Eva's actually looking at, your overall financial picture and current information rather than just giving general advice. And that's what really helps.
Yeah, and I guess when it comes to long-term planning financially, as we talk about getting that overall picture of where you stand now, is Eva able to kind of guide you through 5-10 years down the road at this point?
Yeah. At this point, probably not. And we're not looking at investment, but what Eva can do is tell you where you are now and what steps you can take to improve your financial health. So you can ask Eva all sorts of questions, things like, how do I make my credit score better? And if you ask a general AI that question, they'll give you some general advice because it doesn't really know about what your credit history looks like. For example, with Eva, she's able to look at your credit history and be able to tell you exactly what steps you can take based on your unique situation. And that's what's really empowering. It's about the knowledge that Eva can share, and it's about the information that you allow Eva to give access to. It's another thing that's a bit unique, is that it's permission-based. You give Eva permission to look at information so you know exactly what's being accessed, and you can control that.
Yeah, because when we talk about personal finances and really just security, because your private information's online. Talk to us about how you are keeping this program secure with AI.
Right. And it's really important to be thoughtful about when you're working with an AI, the information you're giving it to work with. Be cautious about sharing things like your social security number or PINs or account numbers, those sorts of things. If you're working with Eva, you're a member of our services. So you are in a secure environment and a web environment. We give you information and guardrails around and tell you exactly what we're doing and how we're accessing information. So we have guardrails in place to protect that information, and you are in control of it. As I said, that one of the things that's unique about Eva is you give us permission to access the information that you want us to, and that, or Eva to, really, and that gives you control. And I think that's really important. You need to understand how an AI is using information, where it's getting that information, and how you can control it and protect your information, and what it's doing to make sure it's safe and secure.
So could I ask Eva to look at my credit reports and records and say, okay, how much money have I been spending on shoes the past 6 months? And it can break down information like that?
Probably not that specific.
Not that
and
specific.
Your credit report
Okay.
doesn't show
More
that
broad.
anyway. So you can ask Eva, where is, can you look at my credit history and tell me, what I need to do to improve my credit history overall. What are the issues that are most affecting my credit scores? And Eva would be able to look at that report and say, well, you have high balances on your credit cards, or you have an outstanding loan or missed payments, or you're doing all the right things, and here are steps you need to take. You could even ask Eva, I'm trying to put together a budget. Can you give me some tips on what I need to do? And maybe identify areas where I am spending in using my checking account or savings accounts that I can change over time to be more financially healthy and maybe be able to put away savings and improve my credit.
Right. And I mean, Experian is one of the three big major, credit agencies. And, is there a time, I guess really the thing is can people still reach a real person at Experian if they want to?
Yeah. You can, I always kind of tongue in cheek say that we have one of those great call center kind of tools where you select option 485, you'll get to the right spot. But the reality is when you get your credit report, it will have a toll-free telephone number you can call. You can dispute information. And it does provide information to speak to a person if you need to. In most cases, you don't need to. And in fact, working with Eva, you can ask to dispute information. You can ask about what steps you can take if you've been a victim of fraud, and Eva can help with that. And if you are disputing information as fraud, for example, at Experian, we often will directly put you through to a person because that complicates things. It's a very complicated issue and needs to be addressed. But if you're just disputing information in a report, for example, and need to say, hey, I think this is incorrect, how do I dispute it? We can do that for you online. It's secure, it's encrypted, it's fast. You don't have to mail things. People think about, I want to send a letter to Experian. That may be the most insecure way to share information because you're saying, here's my address, here's my name, here's my social security number, all the things you need, and this is the account number I need to dispute. Put in a letter and you put it in the mail and people get involved. And ironically, when people get involved, that's when fraud and other issues happen. So we try to make it as streamlined as possible. In fact, I think it's very interesting. More people tell us they'd rather work directly with an AI or with through an internet connection than directly with a person today.
Yeah. So you mentioned fraud, and I feel like a lot of people's interaction with Experian, Equifax, and the third one is that
TransUnion. Yeah.
TransUnion. There it is the event that you experience fraud, or in my case where I had lost my wallet out of the country and you have to lock your credit accounts. And sometimes that can be a little bit difficult of a process to navigate if you've never done it before. So Eva can walk you through that step.
Very easily, yes. So if you go to Eva and say, hey, I've lost my wallet, I need to lock my credit history, and you're a member of Experian, we'll do that for you. She can do that for you directly, or Eva can. They tell me not to call her she. It's hard. Anyway, Eva can help you do that. And, if you need to add a fraud alert, she can help you do that and, walk through that process for you. If you need to freeze your credit file, you just say, hey, Eva, I need to freeze my credit file. And Eva will do that for you. And you can also say, I need to lift the freeze. Eva will unfreeze the credit file for you. So you don't really have to go into the system. You don't have to do much else. You can just talk to Eva and say, hey, I need help. And Eva can help you with it.
Alrighty.
All right. Rod Griffin, thank you so much for joining us today. Rod Griffin is the Senior Director of Consumer Education and Advocacy with Experian.
AI, it's coming into all avenues of our life.
So